guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
So if you guys want to get into the Patreon, if you guys want to check out how you can request a review, the link is down below. Also, link down below is for these sweet fucking shirts, man.
Look at that shit.
Whammy-Louie!
Do you have a lady boner or a man boner? It's fine to have both. Michael, take that out of your mouth! What are you sucking, Jason's dick?
We have another Halloween script. If you guys remember, we've done the Halloween Return script, the canceled script. We've done multiple Halloween scripts, Halloween 3D, the canceled Halloween 3D scripts, many canceled horror scripts that we've done on the channel, the Resident Evil, George Romero script that was supposed to happen. We've got a playlist of those.
There's a trend going.
I will put the link down to it below. These are fun as shit to do, man.
I love them.
You can look at them and you go, what could have fucking been? And this one's a special. It's been requested for a while, and it's actually a Patreon request from our friend Stephen Moore. So here it is, Halloween 666, the original Phil Rosenberg script for what should have been, no, should not have been, but for what almost was Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael
basically, the discontinued product that they sell at Spencer's.
Let's get into it, Jim!
So, Halloween 666. Cue Marilyn Manson Resident Evil theme song.
All stars
Cue
now.
the turd that you're smelling that someone left in the public bathroom. Because that's what you're getting in both of this. You're getting a Marilyn Manson soundtrack with a shit sandwich.
Oh, it's dark.
Because goddamn!
Oh, it's dark.
What the fuck?
So the whole story behind this script is crazy because it's the Phil Rosenberg Halloween 666, the origin of evil script. It's meant to follow up Halloween 5 and also tell Michael Myers' origin story in a crazy, weird fucking way. Phil Rosenberg wrote the script, and Scott Spiegel, who wrote Evil Dead 2.
Paul Rosenberg's brother.
Yes. Scott Spiegel, who wrote Evil Dead 2, was actually in line to direct the script possibly. He talked to Akkad and they said, okay, we'll let you rewrite this script and also direct it possibly. But eventually they both Rosenberg and Spiegel got kicked off the project, and allegedly Akkad threw the script across the room in disgust.
How is that? He's like, I can't read! How dare you hand me something to my hand?
But this is the original script, and it's very rough. Like, you could tell this was going to need multiple drafts anyway, but there's some good shit, like, in it. But ultimately, there's some stupid fucking virtuosity Russell Crowe / fucking Tron batshit deep Jason sequel fucking wildness.
Yeah, I can't.
We'll get into all of it.
You couldn't smoke enough to fucking really play this motherfucker out. Like, I mean, it was 96, so I guess at that time they were like, hey, you know what, I guess we can do this with VR shit, and we'll get to that, but it's like a very Lawnmower Man, very cheap, corny ass fucking explanation of Michael and how you get to fucking shit.
With little corn nuggets of goodness.
There's corn nuggets of goodness in the smallest corn nuggets. You do have Dr. Loomis in it, and you do have Sheriff Meeker in it, but they're wasted, they're not really there. And totally. I really wouldn't hate it to have this be Donald Pleasance's last foray into the Halloween series. I mean, I loved what they did with the Halloween 6 that we were all used to, because at least he was active and he was involved. This one, he's just a broken down asshole man in a nut house watching fucking Golden Girls on reruns. And there's nothing wrong with that, but goddamn, I was like, I want more from me Loomis. I know they wrote themselves in a corner in Halloween 5, but holy fuck.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're gonna get into all those things as we go along, but the movie, I say the movie too. The script starts, this character named Dana, and she works for a news station, and she's having these dreams about Michael Myers, and it just so turns out that she gets sent to Haddonfield to cover the story of they're getting ready to bring Halloween back after 5 years. After the events of Halloween 5, the town's, you've seen this in other Halloween scripts before, the town's fighting, there's Michael Myers costumes and masks everywhere, the town's obsessed with them, it's this big fucking circus going on in town, and you get Tommy Doyle's character who's there, and I pictured Paul Rudd the whole time I read this script. This Tommy Doyle lives with a couple of like asshole kids who make fun of him all the time for being such a weirdo, but he is a weirdo in the same way he was in the Curse of Michael Myers.
Why is he living with like people that are 12 years younger than him?
I don't know, man.
They're like 17 and 18, he's 29.
Yeah, and he lives upstairs in this party house. He lives upstairs. You know what I pictured? You know where he lives is in Ace Ventura. He goes to the crazy scientist room in the back. He's like, "What's the password?" He's like, "New England clam chowder."
I feel like he could be the guy from Road Trip.
Yeah.
and eat Hot Pockets and shit to stay awake.
Like the new guy.
Yeah, the new guy, like that guy. Like, that would be
Super
Tommy
nerdy.
Doyle.
And he was like, they called him Trembling Tommy. That's your Tommy Doyle. He's still obsessed with Myers. He's still living in the attic of this house. This is where the VR shit takes a fucking stupid ass turn. He's got like these VR hands and like gloves and the set on, and he's in this VR world, and you see this weird druid cult ritual taking
fucking
place.
Job from Lawnmower Man. I touched God. I saw God.
There's these people with robes, and I can only picture terrible, like old school, like MS-DOS fucking graphics, terrible. You know. he's in this weird VR world, and he's watching this druidic cult with these like robes and stuff, and this dude with a deer head, and there's about to be this sacrifice, and then it all gets cut off.
If you're gonna ask me, that just sounds like a great party in Seattle.
We in Seattle, Izzy?
I think it sounds great.
I know we're in Seattle.
I'm gonna meet you in Seattle,
Emily.
We're in Seattle, Izzy.
That's those rock star references, but yeah. So it's so stupid. Like I said, Russell Crowe virtuosity, weird fucking thing going on there, and a Halloween script of all things. So that's Tommy's character. This woman Dana, she works.
I feel like she's pretty flat. Like, overall, her character, like they do her best, like they do their best to build her up, but she still stays flat as a pancake.
What I like though is she gets sent to this town. She gets sent to Haddonfield to cover the story of what's going on, and again the footloose fucking storyline. Halloween's coming back. Tommy's out there with fucking megaphone telling people, it's like, seriously, don't bring back Halloween.
As soon as that scene came in, I'm like, oh my fuck, you lost. Yeah. Because if they had kept Tommy a recluse and kind of fucked up and made him stay in the attic thing and like working on his projects or whatever, I'd be like, it's weird, but I can deal with that. As soon as he goes out in the street, like, never wear white socks after Labor Day. You're like, oh fuck.
Don't feed your gremlins after midnight.
What do you mean there's no more buffets at the China restaurant? I was there last week.
Golden Corral is actually overpriced.
But yeah, I mean, as soon as he was doing that and being a nutball in the middle of the street, I was like, man, I've lost complete interest in Tommy at this point. Like, this is already going down the wrong route.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. But and then when she shows up with her camera crew, which by the way, her camera crew is made up of a skeleton crew of wannabe actors. It almost feels like they're archetype, stereotypical. Like you've got the smart guy that's a camera guy or the sound guy. You got the smart ass guy that's a camera guy. You've got some other guy, I don't fucking know. And then you got the one guy trying to get in her pantyhose and get that vagine.
I pictured Will Ferrell as an anchorman in that guy's role.
Yeah, I mean that's literally the most standard bullshit news team you could ever think of.
What I did like about them going back to Haddonfield was the whole town element of everybody freaking out about Halloween and some of the old characters you get. You get Sheriff Ben Meekers, we talked about, and it's cool to have him in there for a moment, and he has a really interesting dialogue for a second. He just ends up completely wasted because he's they're interviewing people about Halloween, trying to get the story, and he's like, yeah, it's real fucked up because you're sitting here and this guy murdered your family, and I have to watch these kids in the street dressed up as fucking Michael Myers and people playing with serial killer trading cards and acting like he's a fucking famous person.
I'm not gonna lie, I would like to get those cards.
I know.
Those cards would probably be awesome.
But it's a pretty interesting dialogue that you have the survivors of what Michael did dealing with everybody treating Michael like this famous person. That was cool. Problem is, you get this cool dialogue from Sheriff Meeker and then he's gone.
One of the biggest travesties of the strip is Loomis. The way that they portray Donald Pleasance it's Donald Pleasance still because he wasn't dead yet. Tommy Doyle, much like the Halloween 6 that we know and love, he goes to the hospital asking for Dr. Loomis. Well, in this case, it's an actual nut house.
Yeah.
And they direct him to floor 3, which is for the super insane people. And the nurse is being a bitch, but I was like, oh, he's like, because Tommy doesn't know that Dr. Loomis is committed. He's like, show me Dr. Loomis's office. And she's like, office? That's the first time I've ever heard of that. I'm like, well, bitch, it's probably the first time you've ever heard toothpaste either because your breath is rank.
Put some respect on Dr. Loomis's name.
And eventually he goes up to the 3rd floor, meets with Dr. Loomis, and Dr. Loomis is a burnout at this point. Like, I mean, not like literally he smoked weed, but he's a burnout like the fact that he's dealt with enough. Like, he doesn't want to deal with Michael Myers anymore. He's only like 72 or something, I think what the script says. And but he's just done. Like, he doesn't want to do anything with Michael or have anything to do with Michael anymore. And he tells Tommy, he was like, you need to let it go. You need to go dance on the beach and stuff. Maybe that's what I should have done. And then Tommy's like, I can't. He's like, I know you can. So there are some cool, like, little moments there between the dialogue between Loomis and Tommy. Yeah. But it's still, at this point, again, Loomis is more okay with watching Wheel of Fortune at 3 p.m. and not fucking worrying about anything else at that point. And I really feel bad about it. Like, I mean, it's like, God, like, if that was the last time you saw Donald Pleasance ever, because that's the only time that you see Dr. Loomis in the script. That's it. In the nut house, watching Golden Girls, and giving a little bit of information to him, to Tommy.
He does have some good lines, though. Like, I liked it when he said, he was like, what are you doing here in a fucking mental hospital? Which you would think.
Have you met makeup?
It also doesn't make sense, because if Tommy Doyle was so obsessed with Michael, like he is, like he built a fucking time travel VR machine, which we'll get to, you would think he would know about Dr. Loomis's current presence, you know?
Maybe, yeah.
So he's like, what are you doing in a mental hospital? And Dr. Loomis has some cool lines where he's like, too many demons up here. He's like, I took in too many demons. I did too much. And that was cool. What I don't like is how that whole conversation ended where he was like, take this figurine. It'll protect you. And I just pictured like a little bronze army man.
Yeah, that's where you get into the runesy kind of shit.
It ties into the whole thing as you go along because the reporter, April O'Neil, she goes to visit her grandma at one point. And her grandma, the main thing that you'll remember about her, she's got a big fucking mole on her nose, right?
Why don't you get that shit removed? That's fucking gross to look at. I don't want to hug you.
This mole has more of a story point in this fucking script than Dr. Loomis does.
Damn, it does. It's true.
She's sitting there and she's actually is watching Wheel of Fortune. She's talking to her and she has that same figurine, so you know it's going to tie in later on.
It's obvious. Like, you see everything coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and as you watch it, you're like, okay, well, they wouldn't have pointed that out. It's definitely going to play a factor at some point because even the guy that's like, we'll remember this later. Like, oh, okay. Thanks for telling me. I didn't know.
Appreciate it.
Even though you spent like 18 years talking about a goddamn porcelain figure that with a little spear. Like, God damn, it was written bad. But anyway, moving from there, I really want to get to one of the worst farts in our face. For me, anyway, when reading it, when you come upon Michael for the first time early in the film. After the initial, because I'm imagining them shooting it. So you see Michael's mask early on in the movie, right? They reveal it right away because he's in the dream
sequence. Yeah.
So you know they're probably going to use that mask, which is stupid. But anyway, Michael is sleeping in a goddamn alleyway on some newspaper as a fucking bum, and these ruffians, you know, been drinking all night.
Hey man, you want to beat up a homeless guy?
I want to fuck, and then they start doing Singing in the Rain from A Clockwork Orange and whooping that guy's ass, and then all of a sudden he, you know, fucks them up eventually when Michael wakes up. He's like, you dare! I was sleeping, dreaming of goddamn dogs! You know, that's Loomis for you, but you know, Michael fucks them up. But literally, that's your introduction to Michael Myers again.
He's a bum.
He's a bum living on the street. I know
too.
he got involved with goddamn casinos and hookers. But that's literally. I was thinking when I was watching, or in my mind watching this scene unfold, it would be Lewis screaming about this is what happens when you don't finish school.
I told you to let out the building, mate.
If you didn't, you know, your goddamn goldfish took you to an obsession. I can't go with you.
Pay your bills, James.
Goddamn. But yeah, so you get there, and that's, you know, again, good for the guy. He says you never see his face. They keep it in shadow, but he's unmasked. But the kids see it. You know, the kid, you know, I think he says at one scene, one of the ruffians sees him and like backs away because of how disturbing or disgusting his face looks. But I was like, God, dude, like, I mean, that's not what I want to think of Michael Myers, like living on the fucking street, sleeping as a bum. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is he, Batman waiting on a signal? Like, you know, like Michael Keaton in Batman 2 when he's like, like the signal goes off.
And he's been doing it for some time too, because well, first off, he
smells like pee.
He kills these guys, and again, this is where the Rob Zombie, not just the dream sequence, because Rob Zombie.
Oh, this scene would be in Rob Zombie's Halloween 3 for sure.
But they make him a bum here as well, in H2. But he kills the first guy. Kills, like, the dudes are beating him up or whatever, and he kills the first guy or whatever. But then a rat the size of a cat walks by, and he grabs the rat, and he literally murders.
I think that's an exaggeration.
He opens his fucking mouth and stabs this guy with a rat in the fucking mouth. Like shoves the rat in the back of his throat and kills him that way.
I kind of like that. That was kind of gnarly.
It's kind of dumb though.
I know, but I liked it though. How gross is that? Like, his mouth is open and you're shoving a fucking rat into his mouth and to a point where it's choking him.
It sounds disgusting. But if you watched it on film, you're like, this shit's dumb.
God damn! Eat that shit. It's got protein.
Like, it'd be more fucked up if Michael had him down for the count on the ground and the dude was like bleeding, crying, and then Michael picked up a rat and opened his mouth and put the rat in his mouth and then shoved his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be fucked up. But he used it as a weapon, you know? He was like, take this shit.
Well, I think he was just like, I don't have anything. I mean, I'm a bum. I got nothing around me, so here's a rat. Fucking eat it.
Yeah, and then Michael goes to a homeless shelter.
That's what I'm saying. But wait, it gets better because he goes to, like you said, a homeless goddamn shelter.
And everyone
where they fucking know him. Yeah. It's like,
everyone knows your name.
It was like fucking Cheers walking in. It's like, hey, what's up, little bubby? Like, what's up, Timmy? They say, hey, you talked to your son yet? And then it's like the TV's on, and you hear like they're trying to describe this disgusting, you know, really depressed area, and nobody has hope, and nobody cares.
Gotham City.
Oh yeah. We need a city of justice.
And a city of peace.
Yeah, but yeah, so you walk in your mind as you're reading it, and so you're thinking of all the, I'm basically thinking of Bruce Springsteen's Streets of Philadelphia. And I walked in the streets. But it's stupid. Like, so, there's a convulsing guy on the floor, nobody cares. There's a guy peeing on the wall, nobody cares. There's a guy fucking a dog, nobody cares. And it's just like, so there's 600 beds. It's a really tragic area.
Y'all make sloppy joes today or what?
I love him sloppy Joe. Lady, you're staring us.
Because he walks in, and that's now the script. He's like, he walks in, and like all the guys on the bunks and the beds like look up and like nod at him and acknowledge him because they've seen him before.
Cool.
He walks up to a TV and just shoves the guy out of the way. I like to think of it as like some slapstick shit. Like he pushes the guy hits his face. And he sees Dana on the news talking about Halloween.
And she's saying that Halloween is going to return to Haddonfield after 5 years.
Like, oh shit! It's like Michael's been living in this place. He's not killed anybody. Like,
this is my chance.
What's he been doing, man?
He's like, this is my chance to get back in the limelight. I've been living in the bottle, but now I'm done. No more for me. I'm going to be to the top again. That's my sign. Don't you know, little Tim? I'm going to get there.
There's a cool scene that comes out of it, though, after that, because he's unmasked for all this shit. And Michael getting his mask is always a fucking fun scene. Like, you always like to read about
this one.
Or watch. You didn't like this one?
No, because everybody else had the same goddamn one.
Yeah, it's true. It's no different.
Yeah.
But they at one point, Dana and the news crew interview this fucking asshole guy who works in a store. He's like, I don't give a shit about Halloween. I got masks to sell.
What y'all think? You think these beef jerseys gonna sell themselves?
I'm trying to feed my family.
God damn, she needs at least 3 more fucking liposuctions.
But yeah, he goes in and the guy answers the door and or at the little trick or treat shop or whatever. He kills the guy. The kill's kind of cool because he turns the guy around. And he killed him with a fucking like a griller cooked fork.
It was one of those pitchfork things.
Yeah, like a little
that you
make your hot dogs with. Yeah,
or whatever.
He stabs in the back of the neck, but when the fork comes out of his mouth, it takes his dentures out, and then they slowly fall.
That would have been a cool scene.
Yeah, if you got it done right, that would have been cool. But then he goes over and you notice you see the Halloween 3 masks on the wall, which everyone's done that. At this point they hadn't though, so then that would have been pretty fucking rad. You see the Halloween 3 masks, but there's multiple tie-ins to this. And it's funny because where the script goes, well, like we mentioned, it feels like a deep cut Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street sequel. There's multiple ties to Freddy and Jason in this. He picks up a Freddy mask and he tosses it aside. He picks up a Jason mask, he tosses it aside.
He puts his dick in a Chucky mask, tosses it aside.
They don't even bother with
like Chucky.
But they do shout out Hellraiser later on. There's a guy at a party
I do like that.
dressed as Hellraiser.
That's cool.
But and he finds a Michael mask because at this point, like Michael Myers mask, Ben Tramer had been fucking mass produced.
I'm really wondering. Because we got what we got in Halloween 6, which I dug that mask. I thought that was a cool ass mask. But I mean, I don't know if that would have been the same mask with this script. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, it depends on how far they were going to go. Like, the reason why I didn't like the way that he got his mask was because, earlier in the day when they go to interview him, every kid was buying a Michael Myers mask. The same Michael Myers mask that he winds up choosing. It's not different. There's no, there's nothing new about it. It'd be the same fucking mass-produced mask. It'd be like in Scream 2, I guess, or I guess it was Scream 2, where everybody had the ghost mask, so everybody could be the suspect. Everybody's the suspect. But I don't. But
if you think about how they did it in Halloween 2, everybody had really good-looking Michael Myers masks.
Well, not But Michael still
think
had
about Ben Tramer. I mean, he had the blonde hair, but the mask looked good.
But Michael's mask was worn-in. Like, he had his own unique mask.
He'd be walking around that shitty Party City, which is basically what you got in Halloween 4, right?
But also the thing is, like, and I get the idea that they're going with this celebratory kind of festive thing that Halloween is allowed back in Haddonfield. So obviously the biggest reason why Haddonfield is on the map now is for its most infamous resident, which is Michael Myers. So everybody would be going out to buy this Michael Myers mask. I just don't I would have maybe cut that out. Like, maybe even make it to a point where we're really happy that Halloween's back in Haddonfield, but nobody would be so naive and dumb and crass enough to go buy the actual mask, or that they wouldn't even sell them to wear, for Halloween in Haddonfield. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted Michael Myers' mask to be Michael Myers.
You know what I would have done? I would have had him find one of those people, like maybe a big fucking dude, a big fucking dude an adult wearing a Michael Myers mask on Halloween. It'd be cool. What I would have done, I would have had him find that guy, kill him in like a nasty fucking death scene. Like, not only does he kill him, but he rubs his face in the fucking dirt.
Put a fucking water hose up his butt and turn it on.
He punches him to death. Like, he stabs him. Blood, dirt, all that shit. And then he takes the mask off of that guy and puts it on. So even though it's the same mask, it's covered in blood and dirt and shit, you know?
Yeah, just make it unique. Like, make it Michael's mask. But either way, I mean, so Michael gets his mask, and so finally you get the full-on shot. However, we wouldn't be surprised at this point because, again, early on they already shot their fucking load by showing him in a dream.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And like, she's throughout the early parts of the film, or the script, I guess I should say, he runs into her with his mask on. Like, there's a point after she drops off groceries to her grandma and she's getting on an elevator, she runs in, Dana, the reporter, she runs into what she assumes is Michael, and he's got the mask on, and it just turns out to be an old fucking neighbor.
So they automatically would have had to engineer at least probably 3 masks.
So yeah, so the mask is already there. So I mean, it's not like it's gonna be surprising, but after Michael gets his mask on, he's back in the fucking groove, and he's gonna go out and do some shit and stalk Dana. This is where it gets, I mean, god damn, you know,
it's gonna get dark from here, guys. Hold your titties.
I know, it's kind of like now, it's like, okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, I have to be in school. I smell crayons. Fuck.
While they're in the town and all this stuff's going on with Tommy and Meeker and they're interviewing people and what, this preacher keeps showing up. Now, I fucked up. When I read this, I thought it was Preacher Sayer. I had his name confused. It's actually, they did a nice tie-in, I guess, to John Carpenter because it's Father Carpenter. Oh. The whole time I pictured it as the preacher from Halloween 4, which would have been...
That would, yeah.
It would have been shitty to see that guy become who this guy becomes, but it would have been a cool, crazy time.
Yeah, because he did seem like he got Loomis. Yeah, in his own way. Yeah.
But this guy shows up, Father Carpenter, and he's just a crazy old bag, just spouting random shit. He's like, and he pops up like fucking like the dude in Mortal Kombat. I was like, friendship, you know, like he pops up at random times. Like the van will be driving by, and he's like, trick or trees, you know, like just doing dumb shit. And he always looks at Dana and he like says some shit about Michael, some cryptic shit. You know, he's got something going on. Eventually, Michael starts chasing these people, and there's a cool scene where, well, it sets up a cool scene. They failed miserably, but eventually Michael shows up. He starts killing people. Right? He kills one of the dudes in the news van, and then the news van takes off after interviewing somebody. Yeah. And you know Michael's driving it, but nobody in the news van knows it.
He drops that motherfucker into a bog.
Yeah, he drives a bog.
Yeah, it's like cool, man. Where's a goddamn bog in Haddonfield, Illinois? Did we drive to Louisiana?
It's Illinois. It can't be too bad, but yeah, he drives into like a fucking swampy marsh, and it sets up a cool. It sets up a great scene.
It was cool, but
because like
then Michael rises up like fucking Chuck Norris and Delta Force.
Jesus Christ. It was set up so cool because you got all these people in this van in the middle of a marsh, separated from everyone, where no one can hear your screams. Yeah. I had to beat them to death without.
Oh God! Separate the M&Ms.
But and it seems like it's going to be really cool. Like it seems like you're going to get a massive Michael death scene, and I was jacked. But they're all like, well, "Who's driving the van? Why are we stuck in mud all of a sudden?" And then Michael disappears.
Where's the van? The van? They said the van would be here.
So then they all go off and they're like digging through the swamp and shit, trying to get out and figure what's going on. And Michael kills a bunch of them. Well, they're looking off screen.
They're looking for the driver.
Yeah.
So the driver was missing. They're going out to look for the driver, but
he kills. None of the kills in that scene are good at all.
Yeah,
and they could have been,
because I think one of the corniest parts of that is when Sir Fuck-a-Lot, the one that wants to have sex with Dana, goes out and recovers the camera because he finally decides, it's been 28 minutes or whatever, I've smoked 3 cigarettes, I definitely have lung cancer, I'm gonna drive out into this bog and look for my camera crew. You see the death scene from the camera angle of them as they're going through the bog.
We've all seen Wreck.
It's fucking bullshit. Like it wasn't even that. It wasn't even like scary. Like you could imagine, like you just see a force or like hands pull this one guy down, kill his ass, kill the other guy. You see boots like go on the camera, and then the camera ends. Like, you don't even really see it.
It kills everybody. There's a bunch of deaths, but none of them are clear cut. None of them are on screen. None of them are special whatsoever.
Except for the rat one.
So it's a huge disappointment. Well, I mean that one moment. Yeah. You know, and they're all huge disappointments. And then so eventually, it's somehow Michael. She's stuck in the back of the van. Michael gets in and he wrestles with Will Ferrell, Anchorman. He wrestles with him in the front, and the van takes off.
Let me drive.
You don't know who's driving it. Like at this point.
I do like that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And then it's also cool that she sticks her head out the back, and she's like screaming for help as the van speeds off into town, and like one of the trick-or-treaters just like flicks her off. That was cool. But when the van stops, the preacher comes back out of nowhere, right? And then he's spouting all his.
Well, they already tried to hit him. They almost hit him twice. This was the second time.
Yeah, he
keeps on like walking in the random the fucking road. He's like, like, you know what? I was imagining some drunk dude with a flask, like just shit. We meet again, like because earlier on in the film or in the script they almost hit him. And he just randomly popped out in the middle of the road. This time he's popping out in the middle of the road as they're driving away from a goddamn bog that they somehow found in Illinois. Cool. And he's still like, God damn. He goes, you're all gonna die.
You're all doomed.
And he's like fucking, I just imagine a dude drinking a flask. But yeah, he pops out.
And then it's not Michael driving. It's the Anchorman dude driving. So first off, you're like, so he successfully fought off Michael, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
But then Michael appears out of nowhere. Like, was he on top of the van? I don't fucking know.
He probably was.
Michael appears, stabs the dude in the guts, and it's like entrails fly out everywhere.
Picks him up by the neck. That seemed pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he picked him up by the neck and then...
It would have been cooler if they did a nod to the H2 hospital scene where he picks up the nurse.
Yeah.
You know? That would have been rad. But so he kills that dude, and then he steps on the preacher's hand and crushes it. Dana takes off running into the woods.
But the preacher keeps on ranting and raving and doesn't even feel it, laughing hysterically about 12-1, baby. 12-1.
Yeah, he keeps saying 12-1 and shit, which is dumb as fuck.
Lines. Here is the driven snow, baby.
Vision, dreams of passion. And then you find out the reveal.
Big reveal here.
The fucking camera pans down and Preacher Jack Johnson has fucking steel-toed boots on. He's the Man in Black. He's been in the Man in Black this entire fucking time. We'll get into why. It's fucking dumb though.
But you find out that Dana is in fact related to Michael Myers. Yeah. They share a bloodline, and
someone
she was
mentioned
adopted.
it earlier too. They were like, or Loomis mentioned it. He was like, he was trying to tell Tommy. He was like, look, it's over. Because they mentioned Jamie from the fifth one because she goes missing, and they never do anything cool with that. But they mentioned that she goes missing, and Loomis is like, look, he took her. He's like, it's over. The bloodline's over. Michael's gone forever. You don't have to worry about it. And then Loomis goes, unless there's more sealed documents.
And he
somewhere.
said, but by God, they might be.
And of course there fucking is. Dana's another. It's the same fucking thing they did with Jamie Lee Curtis. Dana is a mystery fucking sister of Michael Myers.
But you know, at this point, you really know it's fucked. I mean, but that's where Dana's all like screwed up as they make their way when the bog thing happens. Like she had just seen this happen and basically puts all the pieces together that she is Michael Myers' sister.
Again, why not just use fucking Danielle Harris? And bring Jamie back, who's a character we fucking give a shit about, rather than creating this whole
because they don't like the name Jamie.
Oh Jesus!
But yeah, so now we'll get back to what we were. Now she's at Tommy's house again, and the party is in full mode. And she runs upstairs to get to Tommy again because again earlier on after the Wallace interview they tried to go interview Tommy Doyle, but Tommy Doyle wasn't available. He was VRing and jacking off into Pornhub. I don't know what he was doing. He didn't answer the door. Now she's there again. She's running up the steps. But this is kind of cool, I guess, because Michael Myers follows her ass to this house, and Michael Myers, when he tries to knock on the door or just walk in, Pinhead opens the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, your suffering will be legendary even in hell. He's like, did you bring the bong? And like, Michael, but I guess it's because, I don't know if they were holding on to this thing, because these kids are like 17, 18. He didn't kill any of them. He was just like pushing. It's like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
Like, it's like trying to, make your way through a goddamn, what was it? A mosh pit at goddamn Scorpions or something.
It's funny as fuck too because this writer was more interested in the party these kids were having than he ever was in Michael Myers.
Yeah, the party was like nonstop.
It's deep. Like there's all this shit going on in the party. Like some of these characters have Jason masks on, some of them have Michael masks on, and it's funny because you see Michael's POV when he's in the house. Like you see him watching Dana, and you hear him breathing, but then the camera pans out, and it's this kid wearing a Michael Myers mask, and the breathing is him taking big fucking tokes of weed.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty funny.
We also forgot to mention the two of the kids. Tommy's housemates stole the Judith Myers tombstone.
Oh yeah,
which opened up. Well, you do see it, or in the script it says you hear a and smoke comes out like from dirty breath from the ground.
They have the tombstone at the party. It's like the centerpiece of the party that's going on.
Cool. The cops are never going to see it.
Several cool things happen while this is going on, and meanwhile upstairs she's talking to Tommy, and Tommy's showing her his VR collection, which gets her
VR Troopers. Do you like?
While that's going on though, Michael Myers is going around this party, and there's this dude.
Michael's like walking around. I'm imagining.
I'll do one.
I'm imagining like a basic fucking layout, like a basic frat house. And Michael can't be lost. It's not a mansion. And he's just like, ooh, what are we doing here? He's like,
I could have made some different life choices.
Smoking, snorting, coking. Like,
and how long has it been since, he smells like fucking piss and blood.
Yeah, he just smells like shit.
And
he's a bum. You know he didn't take a shower.
Nobody notices, but he goes outside. This is a cool scene, actually. He goes outside, and Jason Voorhees is outside, like, with a fucking bong. He's like, hey,
he's like, do me up.
Yeah, set it up. And then it makes no sense, though, in the script, because it's like Michael takes the bong, or the beer bong, and he puts it in Jason's mouth hole in his mask. But Jason doesn't have a fucking mouth hole in his mask.
Shitty ones.
He has little tiny ones, but he doesn't have a big one. But he puts it through the mouth, and he starts to tap the keg or whatever, but then instead of giving him the beer, he fucking drowns him with the beer, and he shoves it through his esophagus, and he stabs him up against the wall, which is pretty fucking cool.
If you're gonna go,
you can see Michael kill Jason right there, so it's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, and then so as Dana made her way up the steps,
the darkness now.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Like,
this whole fucking
dark right now.
Right here.
He just went from Nike to fucking.
She runs up the steps to. Oh my gosh.
You got some LA gear coming at you.
That's like on Christmas. You said I'm gonna get them Air Jordans, and you open up the fucking box, and then nothing but Fila. I like Filas. But anyway, she runs up the stairs. She gets with Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle is like, listen, I gotta tell you something. This VR machine I made, it's like a Ouija board. What? But then you find out, she's like, I'm Michael's sister. I'm Michael's other lost sister. He's like, no way. No way. That's all he can fucking say, because she's like, that's my mother, and that's my father, and that's my sister, that's my brother. And he's like,
you're gonna like the way you look, I guarantee.
God damn, I knew you hoes were fucking terrible. You fucking dirty ass skate strodes. But anyway, so Dana is the long lost sister and reveals it to Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle explains that the VR is somehow a goddamn Ouija board meant to understand what Michael is. And if you were able to get past a certain point in the video game, past the checkpoint that I can't get past with the Game Genie, then you can discover all the secrets.
Scan.
God damn. That literally what. So she's a Game Genie, and she's like, plug it in. He's like, I can't plug it in, plug it in. And she's like, plug it in. And he's like, all right, well, I'll do it. So she gets on the headset.
You understand, it's a family thing. I'm like, oh, fucking stab me in the eyeballs. She just said that shit.
In your face.
It's a family tradition.
Nutting in your face right there. Disgusting. Money shots. But yeah, so she gets on the Ouija board VR simulator. She goes through the what you saw in the earlier part of the script, gets past that point, and what you discover is, after weird like Ozzy Osbourne, fucking Pink Floyd effects, I'm sure they were going to throw at us, like, you know, the guy was even like, imagine this and that, like all these things flying at us. She gets to a point in the VR simulation with what we saw in the beginning, where the high priest or a guy in a white robe with a deer mask on, and then another guy's, they're arguing, and what they're talking about is like, you know, I don't want to die, and he's like, well, you have to die because you got some great shit for a year, and now the pay the piper time is here.
It's actually interesting, and it ties back to the original novel in a way. In the original Halloween novel, they did something like this, where it was way back, and it was a druid celebration. And this idea, though, the king, he gets 1 year of whatever fucking he wants. He gets all the ass and drugs and everything he wants.
It's for a year, though.
But at the end of that year, they sacrifice the king to keep the gods happy.
So yeah, so
he doesn't want that.
The king is like, no, fuck that, I'm not doing that. And he's like, well, you can't double step a triple stamp. You can't double step it. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna do. He's like, all right, fine. So then he's like, I mean, I don't know if the guy's gonna get the message or not. He has worms in his apartment. But so eventually they lead the guy down. The high priest is what you see. Stabs his ass. They think it's all good now. The gods are appeased. Allah will walk over on the earth, and fucking Zeus will fart thunderbolts.
Here comes an H2O tie-in.
But then all of a sudden they take the mask off of the deer face guy, and it turns out to be the minister, the preacher, and not the king itself at all. And he's been gagged, and he hadn't been able to talk. So the high priest is like, what the fuck? And then there's like earthquakes and rumblings. Armageddon is coming down from the sky. You see the king running through the streets, and fucking John Cena's like, not to my house. But no, you see the king running through the forest, getting away from the destruction. So the high priest is like, this can't go, you know, this
It's the end of Krypton.
This affront can't be what it is. We have to make right. So he's like, I will curse the family line, all of it, forever. So he curses the goddamn line, and he says that they will be killed. The entire family line will be killed off. It doesn't matter if it's going to take 10 years or 1,000 years. They'll never forget until that line is killed, which is the King's line, which is also Michael Myers' line. Oh my God, there's so much. It's so stupid.
It's fucked up.
And then, so he does that, and he has even the motherfucker even has a cauldron. What the fuck has a cauldron anymore? He's like, and don't show like Skeletor. It's over. Like, it was so stupid. And then, like, smoke rises from the cauldron. It seeks out into the forest. The king is still running. Their town is destroyed. Then, flash forward 5,000 years, titties up, and now you're at 1963, and young Michael Myers is floating around, getting baby Ruths.
Little fart comes out of the Ninja Turtle sewer, and then it goes right in Michael's mask with the clown mask, and that's what started the whole thing. And then you can hear the priest laughing in the back. Meanwhile, though, while they're doing that, there's a fucking Megadeth sequence where it's like slap at the bass. It'd be funny if it was actually Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle going slap at the bass.
It reminded me of I was thinking that Devil Dragon's like
Kid Rock's Ball with the Ball was playing. There's like fire, there's fucking devils, there's all this crazy shit happening. I think the dude actually mentions like
10 seconds down
ACD music video. It actually says that in the script, something like that. But and one cool thing, not cool, but interesting thing they show is in that sequence when they're just throwing shit at you. You see Jamie in like a bone cage, little Jamie like trapped in a bone cage. Which
Is
she dead? I don't fucking know.
Well, no, I guess her soul is trapped. I don't know, because they said that
Shang Tsung.
Well, the thing Shang Tsung wins. Who is that? Shao Kahn, the Emperor. But yeah, well, they don't really say if she's alive or dead.
It could have been the Mortal Kombat music too.
No, it's like dun 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 dun. And you hear like a rumbling. It's like, what is that? It's like the Emperor. It's like
Johnny Cage.
I've come for your souls. Like, I don't think so, Kano. But yeah, I mean, you don't really. I don't guess they really explain in the script if she died, because they said she's been missing. But what you see in those visions is that she's hiding like a goddamn bones and
bone saw.
Oh, that's a nice costume. Did your husband make it for you? But yeah, so you see that, and then it also describes as it's flashing that you see Judith Myers with maggots coming out of her eyes. You see other past victims of Michael, and they're all there. Anyway, it slaps her fucking ass back to Pandora, and she's there again, and she's like, I know how to kill Michael! You gotta get to Judith Myers' grave!
I just can't do it, Captain! I don't have the power!
There's a big portal like a vagina that he's gotta go inside of with smoke rising from the top.
This is the most deep Jason sequel thing ever. Because they really do, dude. Like, this is the whole gist of it. The gist of it is that she realizes that between 12 and midnight, or between 12 and 1 o'clock on Halloween night, which is not fucking even Halloween night, it's the next goddamn day.
That's a whole hour. God, I'm drunk.
She has to get Michael into the portal, and the portal is under his mother's grave.
Judith Myers.
Yeah, Judith.
Sister.
Yeah, no, it's under.
It's your sister, dude.
Man. He's got to get Michael to the portal under his sister's grave. There's like a swirling fucking hole. So then they're like, okay. And then Michael, this is badass actually. He breaks in the bathroom where people are like making out. He doesn't even like kill him and shit. He just throws them out of the bathroom. And he knows he can't get through Tommy's steel door he ordered from fucking gunsandammo.com. So he sticks a knife in it so that they can't get out. And he apparently had really good layout of the architecture of this home. He goes in the bathroom and he starts ripping through the fucking ceiling.
I do like the fact that he doesn't do it really like all at once. Like, he has to work at it. He's like, I've been doing calisthenics for a while. So he's breaking his way up through the fucking floorboards,
ripping in the tear,
and doesn't give a shit. And he's like, he's showing off his biceps. He's like, I took pre-workout, bitch. Do you understand? I want to see my sister. And you know, but it takes a while. Like, it's not like Michael's not super over, like, he doesn't pop up like Super Shredder at the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Shredder, you gotta listen to reason. You're gonna kill us all. So be it. It's not like that, but Tommy Doyle and Dana's like, oh fuck, I mean, you just got done with the Ouija board VR. What happened? He's like, I know how to kill him. We gotta get him back to the portal ASAP. So, I mean, we
gotta get Jason back to the lake.
Like, it's Cliff Notes like version of what I'm saying in the script, the way that whole thing plays out, but it's pretty much what's going on. So eventually, Tommy's like, fine, okay, I believe you. I mean, why the fuck not? I mean, he's coming up through my goddamn floorboard, and I gotta replace that. So get the fuck out of my house. And she's like, there's one shitty scene, dude. She was like, Well, in that moment, she's like, why would you ever be in an attic? I don't know, because it seemed fucking cool. Like, I don't...
Rent's expensive, bitch.
Yeah, and so...
It is cool, though, when he comes out of the floorboards, though. Like, the way that like they explain it. Like, he, like, fucking rises up. Like, the floorboards lift up and he rises up out of it.
So Tommy's like, get out of here. I'll take care of it. Get out of here.
I'm not going to jail for you or anybody.
So he takes some kind of, like his printer, and he goes to smash it over Michael's head. He's like, is that shit Lexmark? And like, you know, and then bashes it away. Tommy and him are face to face. Tommy has this moment. You know, it's not really like, there's nothing really cool about that.
You're not so scary up close, mister.
Yeah, and then she... how did she get out? Like, does she go through the floorboard?
Yeah, he throws her into the fucking hole, and then she goes out and gets in the car and tries to escape. And Tommy's like, go, go.
Yeah, and then like there's a moment where they're like standoff moment between Michael and Tommy's like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared anymore. And then Michael does something. He's like, oh fuck. And then it's like, it says Michael like seems amused by this, and like fake goes at him. He's like.
Yeah.
What's up, bitch?
Michael did the fucking, and then like Tommy like jumps back, and then it's like Michael seems amused by this because you imagine Michael's like,
he's like, you ain't scared.
But then he throws Tommy against the wall.
After he hears the car,
yeah,
like, so he knows.
Throws Tommy against the wall. He sees her leave, so he goes after her. She gets him back to the fucking cemetery.
I know, but the way the script was playing out, dude, I really wouldn't have been surprised at this point the way that if the car was driving, if you would have seen like Michael running behind it like T-1000. Like in the mall, like just running.
Oh, dude, I like it though because Michael fucking goes back through the hole to get out, and like at this point, the girl who's been waiting to piss this whole time is sitting on the toilet, and Michael Myers breaks through. Like, why is she like? There's a hole in the ceiling and there's drywall everywhere, and she goes in to take a dump.
Well, you gotta take a dump or pee. You gotta
like,
go.
Michael jumps back through the wall and she screams.
I mean, you know, at that point, if me and Mike were at that party and we were drunk as fuck taking a shit or a piss, we'd be like, hey, what's up?
That was the easiest shit I've ever taken. It just came right out.
It's like, hey man, can you get some TP on your way back? But yeah, so so her whole idea is get back to the cemetery, lure Michael into Judith Meyer's empty gravesite now because it's a portal to hell. And as she's driving, she pulls up to the cemetery. You see Father Carpenter screams like, you're all gonna die. You know, his crazy fucking 12-1, baby. Burn, baby, burn.
Burn, Bundy, burn.
You see all that bullshit going on. And so it's an illusion, obviously. She gets out of the car. She sees Michael's behind her. She falls in the mud. It's been raining. Cats and dogs. And finally, right at the last second, she gets to the hole and falls into it. Michael being stupid, which, by the way, this really does solidify in this script Michael being as dumb as Jason because he's just like, whoop, I guess she went in.
Like, yeah, he just stabs after her and falls.
Like, he just walks right into the fucking like trap, and then it's like he realizes what he did. He's like, oh shit. And you see her hand come out and she's pulling herself out because she didn't fall down the hole. But then Michael comes out of the grave, grabs her ankle, starts pulling her in, and
swimming in a sea of mashed potatoes.
Then she remembers that she has that figurine in her back pocket that she took from Tommy's house, which, by the way, Tommy got from Dr. Loomis, which we didn't mention that, but who the fuck cares at this point? It's like a golden figurine that somehow is a protective like talisman, and jams it in Michael's eye.
It's the thimble from Monopoly.
Yeah, jams it. Yeah, oh fuck, who wants to be the thimble?
It's the Shih Tzu dog.
Yeah, so jams it in Michael's eye, and in the script it says, in the first time ever in all of the lore of Michael Myers, we hear Michael let out a guttural scream.
A howl.
Fuck that. Ah! And like, what did he do? Did he go, ah?
With me, I can fly.
Ouchie! And then, while it's in his fucking eyeball, because again, she had to get him in the portal by 1 a.m. because otherwise he's still gonna walk the earth. He falls in forever, I guess, into hell. She climbs out. Then all of a sudden, Tommy and the gang are there with their fucking tow truck thing.
Yeah, they're putting up the tombstone back.
The tombstone, it goes, and then Tommy's like, it's over. She's like, bye, Tommy.
She's like, I've got a story to report.
Yeah, and then walks the fuck off the distance. Well, make sure you give me a fucking blurb, bitch.
Thanks, April O'Neil.
Yeah, and she walks away, and then Tommy's just standing there, like he's like, oh. And then he looks at his watch. And I'm sure I can imagine the camera being like very like serious about this. Tommy looks at his watch and it says 1:45 or 1:35
or 1:14.
Yeah, so it's way past the time. And then on the tombstone, like the fiddler from the fucking park is the preacher, and he's like, I can just imagine with like
they might as well have to be the leprechaun.
Yeah,
I'm the leprechaun.
Like a little pickle, and then the music starts.
End of the
So
movie.
yeah, that's it. That's literally the very end of. So you have Michael who got dropped into a fucking hole that goes to hell, but he didn't really, because he's gonna come back because it's past the time he had to be there. Nobody realizes it except Tommy. Dana's already gone. The newfound sister of Michael, and then you have the fiddler on the roof on the tombstone, like, and then
Sons of Summerland, Lord of the Dance.
Yeah, it feels good. And then, you know, bum 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 bum. Now imagine that, like that is your ending. Some guy laughing maniacally on a tombstone, like 12-1, baby, 12-1. Bum 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 bum. Like holy fuck, your eyes would have got crossed.
That's the moment where Akad was like, "Fuck this shit."
But again, I think so. It sucks. It's terrible, terrible fucking idea for a movie. Cool moments in it, cool ideas, not anything fleshed out, not anything consistent, not anything with any kind of flow to it that would have made it a good movie. The only thing I will say is that I think at this point, and I told Mike outside earlier off the camera, that I think that what they were going for is that Halloween 5 had sucked so much ballsack at that point, and they didn't know what to do with it. So this was the best they could come up with, and they were probably going to go into the territory of Michael versus Freddy or Michael versus Jason. Like, just give up. Be like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know what to do with him anymore. Yeah. He's already unstoppable. We don't know how to tell his lore anymore.
You might as well have had Freddy's hand grab his ankle.
I really thought as I was reading it wasn't gonna be Freddy. It might have been Pinhead or something, or chains coming out. Yeah. Which, I mean, dude, if he had been running to the hole and then chains had ripped out,
it was the best part of Jason Goes to Hell, right? I mean, that when you see Freddy's hand pull him, it's the best part of that. It's basically the same exact thing. This would have been Michael Goes to Hell. And I think the worst part about this script is what would have come after it had they continued it. Had they continued, like you said, it could have been a Michael
Halloween
versus Freddy
777.
But no, if they didn't, if they continued it, like Michael comes back to Haddonfield again and you tell the same story, then Michael becomes the exact same thing you saw in the late Jason sequels, which don't get me wrong, some of them were the best ones.
I liked them, yeah.
But it becomes the exact same thing. No matter where Michael shows up, the way to kill him is always going to be, we got to get him back to the portal, you know?
I want to keep my carrots, my potatoes separate. Like, Jason and Friday the 13th for what they're doing is great, and I love that. I mean, I love that cheesy, weird, corny, like, storylines that they have sometimes. And even though, like, I know some of them are good, it's still... It's Jason Voorhees. You know what? It's like watching Hulk Hogan demolish any guy on WWF Monday night. That's great. But Michael Myers has always been a different beast. And I didn't want to intermingle him with that. So keep my carrots, my potatoes separate. I love them both, but I want my own shits.
And it just ruins it when you know every sequel after this is going to end with, we've got to get him to the portal.
Well, I mean, they might have come up with something. I mean, who the fuck knows? I mean, at that point, when you introduce Portal and magic and runes and goddamn crazy Piccolo playing... Preachers,
goddamn rude.
It's over. Like, it's over. And, you know, I mean, they did their best with this script, I guess, at that point. They didn't really have much to go on, so they did whatever they could. It was a rough draft. I'm sure that if they had kept this script, it would have gone through several drafts. But it would still been dumb as shit. Like, in the very essence of this film, it would have been terrible. It would have basically been just give up. Like, I give up. I don't know what to do with him anymore. I can't come up with anything original. I can't come up with anything new. Yes, I can't make Michael terrifying.
Shit.
Yeah. Even though, I don't understand this. Like, why the fuck can you not... Okay, at this point in the movie, in Halloween 666, Spencer's, like, at this point, just if you're gonna make it weird and cuckoo, magoo, and titty twister fucking out there, can we just get some cool ass, like, goddamn Michael taking on a police team, or just some fucking badassery of Michael coming down like the Crow and flipping over a fucking table and be like, Halloween ain't till manana. Like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Like, just do something crazy then. Like, at that point. But whatever. It's a terrible idea. It was a terrible script. Nothing against the guy that wrote it. I mean, it's hard to write a script. I understand. Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine like what that would have been.
Especially
like pressure.
Following up with 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I couldn't even imagine that. But I'm just saying, like,
the real villain here is Luc Jean Girard or whatever, who made Halloween 5 and put the Man in Black thing in there.
Well, it's him and the production team. Yeah. Like, it was a studio involvement bullshit. But either way, cool. Couple cool death scenes in it. Nothing to write home to mom about. Like, nothing that you're gonna like believe. I feel like if this movie had come out, like, I think that hardcore fans such as us would have loved it. Not loved it. We would have been like, it's acceptable. You know, we don't like it. We don't, because we hated Halloween 5. We fucking hated it. But it's like, Hey man, another Michael Myers movie. I dig. It's another Michael Myers movie, and at least we know there's gonna be another one.
Man, because that's the death of the franchise.
You know what? And I know somebody said that in the comments. We are fanboys, motherfucker. We do like Michael Myers a lot. Halloween is great, but the fact is, if we got another Halloween movie, fuck it. Because okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
I think it would have killed it, man. I think it would have been the end of the franchise.
It's possible.
I think it would have been
possible
for sure. I think they would have had to reboot, which they did several times anyways.
But then again, I thought that. But technically, Friday the 13th Part 5 could have been the end of the Friday the 13th franchise because they didn't even use Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even Jason.
Yeah.
But either way, thank God it never got made, and we got what we got with the Paul Rudd series, and that was way better than what we got here.
Even as fucked up as that was, you know?
Yeah, but do yourself a favor and read the script. Like, it's always good to read the script and see what could have been and what might have been, and just imagine in your mind if that was a fucking movie you were seeing on a Friday night with your girlfriend or husband or whatever. Shit!
So, hey, Stephen Moore, man, you're the fucking coolest dude ever, man. You've been with us from the beginning. You're a fucking awesome dude. Thank you for requesting us. It was a great pick. Thank you for the several of you guys that have sent us the script over the years and wanted to see us do a review of it. You guys are fucking awesome.
What do you think they would have used, like, during the script, if they had made this movie? Do you think they would have brought back old, Halloween music, like the...
I think it really only shows up at the end, right?
The actual theme, but I'm wondering if they used other music.
I don't really see a place for it in there.
Like they done it. Well, maybe when he's chasing her.
Maybe the fucking metal theme now.
That would be interesting. I would really like to know what are you guys' thoughts? Like, I mean, if you guys get to read the script or if you listen to the review, where do you think or they would have used certain other Halloween music tie-ins to this, or would they have come up with something brand new and original? Yeah. Would they have gone the route of Psycho 3 with like the fucking digital shit?
I would love to see more people make a play on it. Like, I have my druthers. I'll take John Carpenter's score in every single one. But if other people are doing it, I would like to see different variations of it. It's fun. So, and we've seen a couple of those. So yeah, Halloween 666, the origin of fucking evil.
Oh shit.
The runes and the
origins of the whole.
VR
the preparation age.
Love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. And don't forget, we got a whole bunch of these script reviews. I'm gonna put the link to the playlist down below, as well as where you guys can get the shirt, as well as you guys can sign up for the Patreon. We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you. I said goddamn.
Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. By the way, I want to know, did you not notice how dirty and smoky Judith Meyer's grave hole was?
It looked like it smelled like Vienna sausage.
What's that bitch been doing? What you been doing in hell, girl?
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.